Hello fellow plastic throwers, this is Fulcrum, and in today's review we're going to be taking a look at my classic army MG36 Airsoft LMG build. The construction of this gun is mostly polymer, so even though it's quite a large gun, it is relatively lightweight. And according to the scales, this gun weighs 2.6 kilograms, which is 5.8 pounds, which is still significantly lighter than my MP5. It's about a kilo lighter than my MP5. So, like I said, even though it's quite a long gun, in fact it's probably the second longest gun in my arsenal, it is actually very lightweight. With the stock folded, this gun is around 30 inches long, which is just shy of 80 centimeters. And with the stock extended, it goes to about a meter long, which is around 39-40 inches. The selector switch on this gun is a G36 selector, so it's ambidextrous, and you have safe, semi and full auto. The magazine release on this gun is an AK style magazine release. The charging handle is your typical G36 ambidextrous charging handle, and pulling back the charging handle exposes your typical G36 hop unit. I've had good experiences with G36 hop units. I think they're probably one of the best AEG hop units I've ever used. The carry handle of this gun has a 3x scope in it, and it also has backup iron sights along the top. Now the handguard on this gun is a G36 front end, and if you are a puritan of this sort of stuff, you will know that this is not strictly an MG36 right now. This is just a G36. A MG36 has a heavier barrel and a drum mag and a bipod. I am planning on getting a bipod and a drum mag, but they seem to be very hard to find right now. I use a bolt to hold the handguard on, and pulling it forward allows me to reach the battery compartment. And even though the handguard's nice and big now, you still have quite a small battery compartment because it's quite low down and it's quite thin. Now when I got this gun, it was a G36K, so it had 4 holes instead of the 6 holes, and the outer barrel assembly had snapped, so I had to buy a new outer barrel assembly. And I also bought a G36 barrel extension, which is why it's got a nice long barrel on it now. The stock is a typical folding G36 stock, so you can unfold it like so and it will clip onto this little deflector here. There's 2 sling mounts on this gun right now. There's usually one on the front end but not on this handguard, and there's one here and one here. I don't use the one on the stock normally, I will just have a single point for this one here. Performance wise, the muzzle velocity of this gun is around about 310 FPS on a .2 gram BB. And the fire rate on this gun isn't too crazy, it's around 700-800 rounds a minute. Now the inner barrel of this gun is a 455mm Madbull 603 Black Python tightbore. Now according to Google Maps and GPS measurements, the maximum range of this gun seems to be around about 80 meters, which for a UK legal full auto AEG is absolutely ridiculous. And the accuracy of this gun is very good as well over that distance. Like I said, 80 meters is the maximum range, so it's not most efficient at that distance, but you're still going to be a threat with this thing. The hot bucking in this is a Maple Leaf Super Macaron, and as it turns out, these don't work too well in any other barrel apart from Maple Leaf barrels because they're designed to fit it better, and the nub isn't as well supported on the bucking by the window of the barrel with any sort of other barrel. So when I tested this with that bucking in, it was a bit unstable, so we're going to put the original bucking back in, which I think was some just generic Chinese bucking I had laying around. But the range of this gun is absolutely ridiculous, and it seems to be able to outclass a lot of other AEGs on the field. This gun, in my experience, is a threat to designated marksmen and even snipers with its massive reach on it. The gearbox in this gun is a typical version 3 G36 gearbox. I don't think there's anything fancy in it, although there is a SHS O-ring air nozzle, which was sort of a necessity to get it to be able to perform properly, but it's mostly stock on the inside. There isn't really anything to write home about in there. The motor's stock, the spring is, I don't know, there's nothing really going on in it. It's just a bog standard AEG gearbox. The performance from this gun all comes from the great big tightbore inside it, and it's, like I said, I would definitely recommend a Madbull 603 Black Python. We've used them several times before, and they will turn, well, all of the guns we used them in, they turned them into absolute lasers. You can turn a really cheap gun into it'll put it into the higher echelons of performance with airsoft guns. It's absolutely ridiculous. For such a simple thing to fit, low cost, the performance will blow you away. It's absolutely astonishing. Just make sure you've got good compression elsewhere, as with, whenever you're doing any other upgrades, you want to make sure you've got the perfect velocity, this, that, the other. If you've got an air leak, it doesn't matter what you chuck in, it's still not going to perform right. But you put one of those barrels in, and it's amazing. It's absolutely astonishing what those barrels can do. Now when it comes to magazines, because I haven't got a B2C mag, which is what I want, for now I just run with 3 high caps clipped together. So this is still strictly a G36, but it's an MG36 in my mind because that's the end goal. I need to get a bipod for it and a proper B2C mag, drum mag for it. Both of which seem to be impossible to find, but we'll find one day. And I cannot wait to see what this looks like when it's done. So that's it for this review. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions about this gun, then make sure you leave them down in the comments. If you found this video helpful, then please make sure you leave a like. And if you don't want to miss out on any new Airsoft content, then make sure you subscribe and enable notifications. And as always guys, play fair, play safe, take care.